I don't want you checking my phone, it's a privacy thing. I agreed, then called the carrier and found out she had a second line. I tracked its usage to a hotel every Friday. Her reaction when I showed up? Instant vomit. I'm Mike, 38, and 3 weeks ago, I thought I had a solid marriage. Turns out I was partially funding my wife's cheating through our joint credit card without even knowing it. Lisa and I have been married for 6 years. She's 35, works in real estate, makes decent money, but I handle most of our finances since I'm in accounting, and she claims to hate paperwork. We've always been pretty open with each other, shared bank accounts, credit cards, normal married couple stuff. About 6 months ago that changed. Lisa suddenly became protective of her phone, started taking it everywhere, even to the bathroom. When I'd glance over while she was texting, she'd angle it away or flip it face down. When I asked about it, she got defensive. Mike, I need some privacy. It's not healthy for couples to monitor each other constantly. Made sense, I guess. Everyone deserves personal space. I backed off, but the behavior escalated. She started putting her phone on silent, taking calls in other rooms, even bringing it into the shower wrapped in a plastic bag. When I mentioned it seemed excessive, she blew up. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're being controlling and paranoid. I have a right to privacy in my own marriage. I dropped it. Last thing I wanted was to be that husband who polices his wife's every move. 3 weeks ago, I was reviewing our monthly expenses. We have a Verizon family plan that usually runs about $120 monthly for 2 unlimited lines. Basic stuff. But our recent bills were hitting $180 every month for the past 6 months. That's a significant jump that I somehow missed during busy season at work. I called Verizon to ask about the increase. This is Mike Thompson, account holder. My bill has jumped from $120 to $180 monthly. Can you explain the charges? The rep pulled up our account. Sir, you're being charged for 2 lines under your family plan, plus additional services purchased separately. What additional services? There's a monthly device protection plan and premium data package that was added in March. That was weird. We'd never bought device protection or premium data. Our phones worked fine, and we rarely hit our data limits. Can you tell me when those were added and how? March 18th, purchased online using a credit card ending in 4827. That was our joint Visa card. But I definitely hadn't made those purchases. Can you email me detailed billing for the past 6 months? Absolutely, sir. When I hung up, I checked our credit card statements online. March 18th showed a charge to VZ Wireless Services for $89. Then the same charge every month since. But here's what was weird. The charges weren't for our regular Verizon account. They were separate transactions for something called Verizon Prepaid Services. I called the credit card company. This is Mike Thompson. I'm seeing recurring charges from Verizon Prepaid that I don't recognize. Can you give me details? They pulled up the transactions. Sir, these appear to be for prepaid phone services. The charges include monthly service and device payments. Device payments? Yes, sir. It shows monthly installments for an iPhone 14 Pro purchased through Verizon Prepaid in March. My stomach dropped. Lisa had an iPhone 12 that worked perfectly. Why would she need another phone? That evening when Lisa got home, I was waiting with printouts of the credit card statements. Hey, quick question about our credit card bill. She tensed up immediately. What about it? There are charges for Verizon Prepaid services. About $90 a month for 6 months. Know anything about that? Her face went pale. Oh, that. I bought a backup phone for work. Some of my clients prefer to call a separate number. A backup phone that costs $90 a month? It's a business expense. I should have mentioned it. I nodded slowly. Where's this work phone? In my car usually, or my purse. I don't use it much at home. Makes sense. Mind if I see it? See it? Yeah, just curious what kind of phone you got. She looked genuinely panicked. It's dead right now. Battery issues. I need to get it fixed. That night, I couldn't sleep. Lisa's explanation fell off. A backup work phone that she never used at home but cost $90 monthly? Battery issues conveniently preventing me from seeing it? I decided to do some digging. Update 1. The investigation. The next day I called Verizon Prepaid customer service. If Lisa had a work phone through them, maybe I could get some basic information. Hi, this is Mike Thompson. My wife Lisa has a prepaid account and I need to understand the billing. We're filing joint taxes and need documentation. I'm sorry, sir, but I can only discuss account details with the account holder. The account is being paid with our joint credit card. I'm listed as an authorized user. Let me check what information I can provide. After a few minutes on hold, sir, I can confirm there is an account associated with that credit card, but all account details would need to come from the primary account holder. Can you at least tell me if the phone is active? I can tell you the account is current and active. Yes. So Lisa definitely had a second phone. And she was using it regularly enough to keep paying $90 monthly. That Friday, I decided to test her story about working from home. Lisa always said Fridays were her paperwork day. No client meetings, just catching up on contracts at the kitchen table. I told her I had client meetings all day and would be back late. Then I parked 2 blocks away and waited. 11:30 a.m., Lisa left the house dressed for business. Nice outfit, hair done, makeup perfect. Not exactly paperwork at home attire. I followed her. She drove downtown and parked at the Marriott. Walked into the lobby like she belonged there. I waited 15 minutes, then went inside. The lobby was busy with business travelers and a small conference happening. Easy to blend in. I grabbed a coffee and sat where I could watch the elevators. About 20 minutes later, a man approached Lisa. Mid-40s, expensive suit, confident walk. They hugged like old friends. I recognized him. Derek Morrison. Another real estate agent from a competing firm. I'd met him a few times at industry events Lisa brought me to. Married guy with kids. They talked for a few minutes in the lobby, then headed for the elevators together. I watched the floor indicator. They stopped at the 5th floor. I went back to my car and waited. This was about gathering information, not making scenes in hotel lobbies. 2.5 hours later, they came back down. Lisa looked relaxed and happy. Derek looked satisfied. They said goodbye in the lobby with another hug and a kiss on the cheek. Lisa drove straight home. Derek went to the hotel bar. I sat in my car for maybe 20 minutes processing what I'd just seen. 6 years of marriage and my wife was meeting another man in hotels while I thought she was working from home. When I got home an hour later, Lisa was at the kitchen table with her laptop open and papers spread around. How was the workday? I asked. Productive. Finally caught up on those Morrison Properties contracts. The irony of that company name wasn't lost on me. That's great, you seem relaxed. Yeah, it's nice having a quiet day to focus without interruptions. I nodded and went to my office. That night I made a plan. Update 2. Building evidence. Over the weekend, I acted completely normal. Lisa had no idea I knew anything. Monday morning I called our credit card company again, this time asking for detailed merchant information on the Verizon prepaid charges. I need documentation showing exactly what services we're paying for with Verizon prepaid. This is for tax purposes. They emailed me 6 months of itemized statements. The charges broke down to $45 monthly service, $35 device payment, and various fees. But the statements also showed the phone number associated with the account. I called my buddy Jake, who works in corporate security. Jake, hypothetical question. If someone had a phone number, what could you find out about its usage? Depends. If it's for legitimate business purposes, there are services that can provide general activity patterns. Nothing invasive, just public record type stuff. What kind of patterns? Like whether the phone is actively used, general location data that's already public, that sort of thing. Why? I explained the situation. Jake was sympathetic. Mike, I can run the number through some basic business databases, see if it's listed anywhere, check for any public records. Nothing illegal, just what's already out there. 2 days later, Jake called back. Your wife's number isn't listed in any business directories. But I found something interesting. The phone's been geotagged in social media posts. What do you mean? Someone's been posting photos on Instagram with location tags. The phone number is associated with the metadata on several posts from downtown locations. Jake sent me screenshots. Photos posted to an Instagram account I'd never seen before. The username was Lisa of Forum Realtor Downtown. The photos showed fancy restaurant meals, hotel lobby cocktails, and scenic views from what looked like hotel rooms. All posted on Fridays over the past 4 months. All tagged with downtown locations. The account only had about 30 followers, but Derek Morrison was one of them. I scrolled through the posts. They were subtle, but once you knew what to look at, it was obvious. Photos of 2 wine glasses, 2 dinner plates, 2 coffee cups. Always 2 of everything. The most recent post was from last Friday. A photo of champagne glasses with the caption, "Perfect end to a perfect week," tagged at the Marriott downtown. Posted at 4:47 p.m. Right around when I saw them leaving the hotel. That night, I printed everything. Credit card statements, Instagram screenshots, photos I'd taken of Derek and Lisa together. The evidence was overwhelming, but I wanted to catch them in the act one more time. With witnesses. Final update, the confrontation. The next Friday I implemented my plan. Instead of following Lisa myself, I hired a private investigator recommended by Jake, someone who knew how to document things properly. I also convinced my brother Tom to meet me for lunch downtown. Told him I needed moral support for something important, but couldn't explain over the phone. 11:45 a.m., the PI texted me. Subjects arrived at Marriott, entering elevator. I met Tom at a restaurant across the street from the hotel. "Mike, what's going on?" He sounded stressed on the phone. I showed him the printed evidence. The credit card charges, the Instagram posts, the photos from last week. "Holy crap, Lisa's cheating on you?" "For at least 6 months. Every Friday at that hotel across the street." Tom looked at the evidence, then at the hotel. "What are you gonna do?" "Confront them, but I want a witness in case things get ugly." "You want me to come with you?" "Just to the lobby. Stay back unless things escalate." At 2:30 p.m. we walked into the Marriott lobby. I approached the front desk. "Excuse me, I'm looking for my wife. She's meeting with Derek Morrison for a business appointment, but I need to give her an urgent message about a family emergency." The desk clerk looked sympathetic. "I'm sorry, sir, but I can't give out guest information." "I understand. Could you call up to their room and let them know Mike is here with an urgent family message?" "What's the guest's last name?" "Morrison." She checked her computer. "I can call the room if you'd like." "That would be great." She dialed and waited. "Mr. Morrison? There's a gentleman in the lobby named Mike with an urgent family message for his wife." "Okay, I'll let him know." She hung up. "He said they'll be right down." Tom and I waited near the elevators. 5 minutes later, the elevator dinged. Derek stepped out first, looking confused and concerned. He was fully dressed, but his hair was messed up and his shirt was wrinkled. Lisa came out behind him. When she saw me, her face went completely white. "Mike, what are you doing here? What's the family emergency?" I pulled out the folder of evidence. "The emergency is that I know everything." Derek looked confused. "Know what?" "About the secret phone Lisa bought with our credit card. About your Friday afternoon meetings for the past 6 months. About the Instagram account documenting your hotel visits." Lisa made a sound like she'd been punched in the stomach. Then she lurched forward and projectile vomited all over Derek's shoes and the lobby floor. Derek jumped back, but slipped on the mess and went down hard, landing on his back in my wife's lunch. The lobby erupted in chaos. Hotel staff rushing over with towels, other guests staring and taking photos, Derek trying to get up while covered in vomit. Lisa was doubled over, still heaving, making horrible retching sounds. 6 months, I said to both of them. 6 months of lies, 6 months of using our joint credit card to fund your affair. Derek was finally standing, dripping and humiliated. "Mike, this isn't what it looks like." Tom stepped forward. "Really? Because it looks like you're having an affair with his wife and she just threw up all over you." Lisa was crying now, mascara running down her face. "Mike, please, I can explain." "Actually, you can't," I said. I handed the evidence folder to Tom. "Because I have 6 months of credit card statements, Instagram posts, and photos documenting everything." Hotel security was approaching. The manager was trying to calm down other guests. "You have until Sunday to move out," I told Lisa. "I'll be at Tom's place this weekend so you can pack without drama." "Move out? Mike, we can work through this." "Work through what? 6 months of cheating? Using our joint finances to pay for your affair? Creating fake social media accounts to document your betrayal?" Derek was trying to clean vomit off his clothes with hotel napkins. "Lisa, maybe we should discuss this privately." "Derek," I said, "you should probably focus on explaining this to your own wife instead of giving us marriage advice." I turned back to Lisa. Oh, and I'm canceling our joint credit card tonight. If you want to keep paying for that secret phone, you'll need to use your own money. I walked toward the exit with Tom. Behind us, Lisa was still crying, and Derek was still trying to salvage some dignity while covered in partially digested food. The drive to Tom's place was quiet for a while. "Mike, I'm sorry," he finally said. "That was brutal to watch." "Yeah, but it's over now. No more wondering, no more second-guessing myself." The vomiting was pretty spectacular, though. I actually laughed. Derek's going to need therapy after that. Epilogue, 3 months later. Lisa moved out that weekend, took her clothes and some furniture, left the house key on the kitchen counter with a note saying she was sorry and wanted to work things out. I never responded. Derek's wife, Sarah, found out the next week when I sent her copies of the evidence. She kicked him out immediately. Heard their divorce got ugly when she started posting her own Instagram stories about cheating husbands. Lisa tried to reconcile for about a month. Flowers at my office, texts from new phone numbers, showing up at my gym. I had my lawyer send her a cease and desist letter. The divorce was finalized last month. I kept the house, she kept her 401k, and had to pay her own legal fees. The credit card statements showing her affair-related expenses helped a lot during asset division. She had to get her own phone plan for that secret phone too. The funniest part is that hotel incident made local social media. Someone posted a video of Derek slipping in the vomit to TikTok. It got like 50,000 views before Lisa made them take it down. Derek apparently moved in with Lisa after his divorce. Heard they're trying to make it work. Good luck building a relationship on a foundation of mutual betrayal and public humiliation. I'm doing great now. Dating someone new who's honest about her phone usage and pays her own bills. Amazing how much simpler life is when you're not being lied to daily. The secret phone got canceled the day I confronted them. 6 months of $90 monthly charges to fund my own wife's affair. Looking back, that might be the most insulting part of everything. Thanks for letting me share this mess. Writing it out helped me realize how ridiculous the whole situation was. Sometimes people really do make their own beds and then vomit all over them.